Bine ai venit la Carieră 360, un podcast gândit și creat special pentru tine. Suntem aici pentru a răspunde tuturor întrebărilor tale legate de carieră, precum ce carieră să încep, cum pot să primești jobul dorit sau cum să-mi schimb domeniul. La Carieră 360 niciun topic nu rămâne nedezbătut.
Hi, welcome to a new episode of Career 360. I'm Yulia and today I'm your host. We are having a very special episode and a very interesting episode, so I'm strongly suggesting to just stay with us for the next 25 minutes. Today we're going to be talking about why female role models matter, and our guest is Magdalena Stalewska-Davi, head of People and Culture at UniCredit Milano. Hi, Magdalena. How are you?
Hello. Nice to meet you and nice to be with you. I'm really good. Thanks a lot. And I'm also excited to share a little bit of this story. Yes, I have to say.
We can't wait to hear about it. First, can you tell us a few things about yourself and maybe a bit of your career path?
All right. So basically born in Poland, married to Italian and currently living in Bucharest. So basically in my entire career, and I'm proud to say that I spent in the same group, although in 3 different countries and in at various positions. So basically still it was the area of people and culture, or HR as we commonly know. And basically it's almost 20 years of going back and forth. I started in Poland and I was living for many years in Italy. Then I moved to Bucharest, still in HR positions, and then I asked to be back to home. And again, I'm back to Bucharest. So basically what I'm stressing here is that definitely the company I'm working for, so UniCredit, is the one who gave me a lot of possibilities and challenges through my career. And what I enjoy specifically is that I was allowed to be myself, and this is what I cherish a lot. And although of course none of the companies I think are free from some limitations, and I would love also to have maybe some more budget, some more people to support or whatever, but definitely I stress that I was always having this space to introduce some topics and be myself and do what I believe in. This is something definitely that matters to me a lot.
Yeah, that sounds really amazing. I think there really isn't anything better than be able to be yourself especially in a company, because when we're at work, we always want to put out the best, to pretend sometimes, it's all this thing, fake it till you make it kind of thing. But working in a company where you feel like you can really be yourself and be supported, that's quite amazing. And because UniCredit offers just so many great opportunities, do you want to tell us a few things about what the opportunities are open right now?
All right, I would just step back a little bit to info about the company itself. Mm-hmm. So basically, we were founded in 2005 as UniCredit Romanian branch, and we are dedicated basically to providing services in the sectors of IT, so digital area, back office, middle office, security, and procurement. And we've gradually expanded, and today basically we are having here in Bucharest and Iași around 1,700 people. And we are representing, let's say, global operation system center of expertise, and we are offering also IT innovative solutions. So we are serving basically the banks of the group, 11 countries basically. So in the area of payments, securities, credits, master data management, this is on operation side, and then on IT side or digital side, market risk, data warehouse, AML, underwriting and monitoring and workout. So basically, on operation side, we are searching for people who are having basically linguistic skills. So we are serving Italian, German, and Austrian client. Therefore, the languages we are always searching is, of course, Italian and German. On IT side, we are searching mostly for software engineers, developers, basically technical analysts, data analysts. So people with, of course, with programming language in basic Java, Python, also sometimes in COBOL, which is a little bit, let's say, old-fashioned language, but still we are also searching for people like this. So that would be in a few words what we do and who is.
That sounds like there are many great opportunities open right now. So I suggest to everyone watching right now to check the link in the comments where you will be able to see the UniCredit's profile on our website on Hipo.ro, and you can see more information about the company and also apply to the available positions. So Magdalena, I know that you have launched something very close to your heart in your company, in UniCredit, and I know that's dedicated to women. So I'm really curious to hear more about the program. But first, I would like to know why for women?
Mm-hmm. Okay, so basically, I think my interest to look closer what's happening at the market with, let's say, female population started like really 3 years ago. So it's not something very old, but basically I was looking through various books and researches and more, and I was looking more, I was convinced that maybe I can also do something about it, meaning that there was very famous Cornell University research who was showing that the result was showing that basically men overestimate their abilities and performance very often, and women underestimate both. And very often it's also so-called imposter syndrome, the one that is, let's say, women frequently express that they don't feel that they deserve the job, that they worry if they are skilled enough, that they are worry if they outshine others or grab maybe too much attention. So again, it was something that was indicating that it's that the female population that suffers most. There's also one very interesting research from Hewlett-Packard, which is stating that men apply for a job promotion when basically they have like 60% of the skills required by the job, and females when they have 100%. So I was just thinking, what I can do in order to shift a little bit this mindset. Another, once again, very interesting McKinsey research was mentioning that it is male population that is having in the companies so-called sponsors or mentors. So somebody who will drag you a little bit, who will, give you some advice, who will make you more visible. So female don't have this tendency, to search for such a support. And I was just thinking, okay, so, knowing that all this data and all this research, I'm pretty sure I can do something about it. And also when you look about Eurostat data, the latest one I was looking at from the third quarter of 2020, it was basically that stating that more than 9.5 million people held a managerial position, but out of which only 34% is held by female population. Comparing to 2002 research, it was 30%. So 30 versus 34, it's really slow change. Yeah. We are moving into this direction, of course, everybody sees that, but the pace is really slow. So that's why basically I was looking for something, trying to create something that will be dedicated to the female population.
Yes, and I think now we're all very curious, what is the program? So what you came up with?
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell us?
Okay, so I was basically, for quite a while, I was just thinking that, I don't know if you hear my cat here around, probably
it's okay.
Also in a while here on the table.
We have one extra person listening.
Yeah, so I really believe that the best things happen in couple, meaning at work. That the higher you go, the more problems you have with behaviors, with attitudes, and I think that the easiest way to work on those elements is to work in couple. Work with somebody who dedicates time to you, who is there for you, who backs you up when you are in need, who shows you different perspective, who shares the experience. So that's why we were thinking about something, and basically this program, which we call Givers, was born in the middle of pandemic when my Italian manager was saying, "Oh, Magda, let's think about something that can somehow replace the coffee time that we don't have anymore because we were in lockdown, etc." And that's why I was thinking, okay, let's do it. Of course, we didn't have any chance to do it in person. So we said, okay, we can do it also online to replace this coffee time where you could, exchange few words, get some other perspective, get some other, point of view. And so we created this program. I mean, initially it was done for the first time in Poland when I was still head of HR there. And it was really welcomed, enthusiastically. I will tell you just to give a few hints how it was constructed, because somehow it is similar to mentoring. The only difference is that we have givers and receivers. So givers are those a little bit more experienced, those that have specific expertise in some areas, and they are matched with the so-called receivers. Givers are those that are nominated. So basically, I wanted to somehow avoid the situation that people will be applying because they believe that they are good enough. I wanted them to be nominated for this role. Normally, also mentors are somehow selected by the managers, by HR, etc. In this initiative, we are allowing female population to say, okay, I would like to see this lady in this role because I've seen her in some meeting, because I worked with her on some project, because I've seen her developing some code, whatever it was, for something specific. So they are nominating those that will be playing the giver's role. And then just receivers can simply apply based on their needs and what the giver is offering. So right now we are having this initiative run for the second time in Romania as well. We have like 27 couples working together for 4 months. And as I was saying, I do believe that, and research is also showing that our expertise, especially for female, and our confidence is growing really linearly with your experience. So I wanted also ladies to go through this experience again, to get a little bit, and here I think I'm coming to the first goal that I had in front of me now when I was thinking about this program, is to really work on your confidence, because I do believe that we have a lot of skills, a lot of expertise, but we really need to be, courageous enough to show our opinion, to convince others to team up with us. And this is the part that we are definitely working in this initiative. I was mentioning before that I think that the best things happen in couples, because very often we are also saying that, you are finding the excitement at work when you win, when you get promoted, when this is the hit of the dopamine. But on the other hand, the real fulfillment, the true, let's say, oxytocin-driven and life-lasting joy is coming when you are building the relationships. It's when you go through some experiences and challenges with others. And when you are able to say at the end that you won together, but not alone. It was also with somebody who was by your shoulder, helping you to get where you wanted to get.
I mean, I think both winning something and going through something difficult feels better when you are with someone else and you're sharing the experience and you get to help each other. And through what you said about women feeling like they always have to prove themselves and not even ask for a promotion before they feel like maybe they're even more than 100% ready for it. I had this experience when I was doing my master's quite a while back, and I went to my professor at the time, and I told her I found this opportunity and I would like to apply, but what can I do to get more skills, to be more prepared for it? And she looked at me and she said, you are already prepared. You don't need to prepare more. You just need to start. And she told me that I generally see women coming to me with this question, not so much men. They feel like they are prepared. And at that moment, I felt it was really a moment of impact for me. It really was a moment that was like, oh, this is really something I have. So I'm really happy that there is a program that at least at UniCredit, and hopefully we'll see more and more programs like this in all the companies in the world, supporting women and women leaders. And it's amazing that you get to choose your mentor, more or less. So I think that's also just really great, because it does have to be quite of chosen relationship, not an imposed one. So what is the program itself? What is it called if we want to search more information about it online? And then I'm really curious, how do you help how do you help women to thrive professionally?
I will tell you also when you were saying about, because exactly that was an explicit example of imposter syndrome that you were mentioning. And that's why it's probably this program is very close to my heart, because it's exactly my experience. I mean, I've always felt that I'm not ready. And when I was also asked to come to Romania, I was just like, laughing to myself. I would never apply on my own. And the fact that somebody said, okay, I think you are ready, I think you can manage, I mean, it was like alignment, as you were saying, also for me. And that's why, when I started reading this research, it was just super, resonating with my experience. And that's why it's also much easier for me to promote it, because basically I'm the walking example of this experience, of all the research I have found. And what I'm also trying to promote with this initiative is that you should really, apart from the confidence I mentioned, it's also that the fact that it's also not new. It's very famous questionnaire. You can do it also online of Gallup Institute when they are assessing your strengths or your talents. So basically they are saying that your talents become strengths because you practice them, you put them basically in practice. So I'm trying also to encourage ladies that you should build on your strengths here. And once you build on your strengths, you are also becoming much more authentic. And this is the authenticity who is really building trust among us and makes us more confident, again, back in the end, back to what I was saying before. I will tell you just something also that hit me really profoundly, because of course this program is giving a structure, a framework to something that it's, I wouldn't say that it's super innovative or creative. It just simply really gives space for females to, expose yourself, go through your experience, bring up your topics that maybe you have doubts, but maybe somebody went there already, opened the door that you want to open, and will give you a little bit of different perspectives so you can choose something that fits you best. And plus, I think the power of this program is also that when you are helping others, in the end, you are also helping yourself. And this is something very powerful to myself that I've been also mentoring for many years, and also I'm the part of this program. And with every person I'm meeting and I'm working with, I'm taking a lot for myself as well. I'm building my confidence also through this. So it's really working both ways. It's not only beneficial for those who receive, but also to those who give, because as I was saying before, it is really super powerful when you can help others and reflect also on your experience through the eyes of others. I remember I was working with one of the receivers, and in fact she was asking me, I mean, how did you manage to have this international experience, etc.? I mean, it's something amazing. And I was just like saying, I mean, for me it's so normal, Again, it's something I would never, how can I say, see that it's something extraordinary. And again, it's because as I was saying, my confidence is growing very linearly through my experience. It's because I got myself somehow available for various initiatives. This is something that helped me to go forward and not to think that it's something special. It's just simply the work I have done. And that's it. Of course, I still believe that you have to be, you have to work hard, and that's the definitely element that helps. But you also have to talk about what you are doing and promote it somehow. So this is something more visible. And again, also this kind of a program is giving you more visibility, and also somebody who will maybe mention you in some occasion, maybe will show you other way to grow or take some opportunities, will give you this backup when needed. And just summing up also a little bit this initiative, this Givers second edition we have in Romania, it's about to come to the end. And the other day I was receiving via email those words that really I was just saying, I can die now. I mean, I'm done, I'm fine. Because one of the colleagues who is involved, she wrote me this: you brought a womanly vibe, your way to be so kind and vulnerable, give us the courage to be ourselves and put us in the game.
Wow.
And I was like, I mean, this is exactly what I was meaning, that you don't have to compete. You don't have to fake something. I mean, you have to believe that the skills and the strengths you have are good enough, no matter if you are vulnerable or if you are strong. I mean, I still say be yourself, but, be kind also to the others. That would be something that I would definitely highlight. But the fact that this kind of exposure and program give others the courage to play the game, it's really, it means the world to me.
Yes, it is amazing, and it's true. I was reading an article about mentors and mentees because it's something that I have been interested in for a very long time, and I have always been questioning and wondering where could I find the best mentor, what would be the best mentor for me, and why would this person want to be my mentor also. So I was saying how actually the relationship between mentor and mentee is a two-way road, where also the mentee can help and will probably help the mentor realize other things about their own personal growth and career growth. So what exactly what you said, sometimes we underestimate everything we've accomplished, and to us it just seems like a normal thing. And when a person comes and says, wow, that's amazing, how did you do that? Only then you become a bit aware of thinking, wow, this actually was a difficult thing. I did actually accomplish many things to be here. So this for everyone who is wondering if they should become a mentor, to know that you also have a lot to win out of this relationship. So, and because we're talking about the female role models, why do you think it's important them specifically to be more visible? Do you think that what we see in media or in companies, is it, I guess, not really quite equal as male to female role models? And why do you think more female role models should be available in companies?
All right. So basically, let's just a very few words about who role models are. So basically, those are those people that influence others by, say, serving as examples. And those are the people that often are admired by those who emulate them. So basically, to their perceived personal qualities, behaviors, achievements, whatever it is, they can inspire others to strive and develop without even providing specific instruction. And I was just, again, few years ago, I bumped into this, let's say, campaign. It's campaign from NAPCAN. This is the company from 2006. It's called Children See, Children Do. And I don't know if you had any chance to see it. You can Google it. Basically, you can find it on YouTube. But basically, the whole advertisement is that you have like an adult and a child who is repeating exactly what the adult is doing. So adult is screaming, child is screaming. Adult is smoking a cigarette, the child is smoking a cigarette. Adult is screaming at wife, the child is screaming at wife. And basically, really, the social scientists have shown that much of our learning that occurs during childhood is acquired through observation and imitation. So it was super powerful to me. And to also confirm this, I was looking, I think it was 2 years ago, at the exercise book of my daughter. And I never was really curious, I never follow her very precisely what she's doing at school. She's doing good, and I'm not the one that is, micromanaging, neither in professional life, neither at home. And I looked through this for some reason, and I found, I think, one of the most beautiful things in my life, confirming again how children learn, because her task was to indicate who is her role model. And she wrote, my role model is my mom.
Oh.
She was 10 at that time, and she wrote why. she wrote something like this. That was the period that I was in Poland at the time, and I was taking singing lessons, and also I was going after work for some improvisation school, because all my life I was always basing my experience on my, how can I say, maybe not this, my statements, what I said, what were my opinions on something really concrete, experience, etc. So I was not really cool on improvisation. I was always, unless I was prepared, I didn't feel good enough, and I wanted to, work a little bit on that part.
Yeah.
And so basically she noticed that, and in her notebook she was writing that because my mom is my role model, because after work she is taking additional lessons and she enjoys it. Then she crossed it, and then in the end she wrote, because my mom is hardworking and she is very calm. Anyway, it was striking to me. Probably, right now maybe it's, I don't know, Dua Lipa or Billie Eilish, her role model. I don't know. Probably she will never tell me the truth right now. But it was really striking that she sees what I'm doing and she is appreciating it somehow. And I was also talking with one of my Romanian colleagues some weeks ago and about this role modeling, and she was saying that she was listening to the radio station when they were asking teenagers in Romania who are their role models, and they were indicating parents. To my surprise, now I'm wiser, and I fully confirm it with my example as well. But it was somehow unexpected at that time. So basically, having a role model definitely somehow elevates your aspirations. There was also a very interesting article I was reading some time ago when they were asking teenagers in United States who are your models. Very often, again, they were mentioning parents, but they were, I think, few percentages were mentioning also that they are their mentors, those role models of them. And I think 20 years later, they were checking again where those people, females at that time, landed. And those who are mentioning mentors, so different perspectives, somebody outside your daily, routine, they were much more prone, 14%, I think that was the indication, were much prone to search for some activities, jobs that were really changing the world. So that was also somehow striking to me, that having somebody different from your parents anyway shows you different paths of growing, showing you probably also other paths to follow, maybe also mistakes to avoid. So I do believe that this is something that it's extremely important, and we should really not underestimate it. And again, the seeing is believing. It's also a very interesting concept because there was also very interesting Draw a Scientist study. It was done, I think, for the first time around 50 years ago. It was done for the first time in United States and Canada on elementary school students. And at that time, only 0.06% drew a female scientist. So it was 28 people out of 5,000 sample. In 2018, this Draw a Scientist study has been repeated. At that time, 24% were drawing female as a scientist. Again, it shows that there is some improvement, but it's pretty slow. So exactly. So still, and also interesting fact was that it was female. So it was girls that were more often drawing female scientists than the boys. So again, it improved, but still it shows that how restrictive gender role stereotypes still are for women, and how vital it is to raise the visibility of female role models for girls and women, especially in those fields which are dominated by male population.
Yes. It's true that, of course, there is an improvement compared to, let's say, the past or the past 10, 20 years, but it is a slow improvement. And that's why I think we need more and more programs like Give Hers initiative at UniCredit, for example. And what I was curious, and probably I want to make sure that people remain with a very clear idea of this program. Can you tell us, just in a few words, what are really the main goals of the program, and why do you think that having same gender a role model is important? Why do you think the female role models need to have the female mentees?
Mm-hmm. So as I was mentioning, it's definitely, I mean, looking at the example of also of my daughter, but also looking at the other females I know, and they were always it's in poor words, it's easier to internalize and follow the path of the role model of the same gender, because it's just simply easier to imitate and copy some behaviors and look up to somebody who is already there, and
And similar to you.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So it's simply natural that we just somehow it's easier to emulate somebody who is of somehow similar to us. So when it comes to the Givers program itself, I'm very egoistic in this, and I really, as I was saying, I'm giving the structure framework for growth of the female ladies, but I'm really glad if there is one simple thing that is changing in your behavior once you are in the program. It can be that you, I don't know, you approach performance management review differently, or it can be that you delegate differently. It depends really on what are the goals of the girls that are bringing it for their discussions. But in fact, I'm a big sponsor of the statement one thing at a time. So don't bring too many topics at those discussions. The program itself lasts 4 months. Try to really focus on one thing that you would like to change. So this is the egoistic individual, let's say, goal that every lady who is participating can set for herself. Then I do believe that, again, once we have trust relationship, somebody who backs you up, I do believe that for the company itself, it also help, I'm saying, happier people, happier company.
Yeah.
So definitely it should also be translated into the better retention, better just simply culture that is really truly embracing and acting on diversity, on different point of view. In fact, I mean, somebody was asking why not give him? I mean, why not for male population? And we will arrive to this moment as well, because of course I do believe that there is a lot of power in different matches, meaning male and female as well. I mean, nothing to hide. I have a lot of sponsors or people that I admire who are also males. But still, looking at the data, it was something that was convincing me that we should start still there. I mean, let's start with the initiative for females, and then let's see how it goes. So basically, when it comes to the female role models, I do believe that they really help us to expand what is possible, because when you see somebody who is there, it's easier to follow the path and avoid some mistakes. It's definitely to inspire also women to be more ambitious and aim higher. And it also demonstrates simply the mindset and behaviors, how to rise, so what path to follow. That would be it for that.
I really liked how you said that happy people, happy company, and profitable company. I really believe that. That's why I think that it is amazing when companies realize just how important it is to sponsor and to have programs where people can develop personal development. Thankfully, had become more and more a topic now that's spoken in companies, whereas I think in the past it was seen as something soft, as something that wasn't necessary. And I'm happy happy to see this trend where companies now realize just how important it is when a person feels good with themselves, how they actually become also better employees. And I guess also from this program, it helps to probably find the next female leaders that will at some point replace the role models, and you will have this positive circle that will happen. Now I'm curious, since you've created this program and you've participated probably in it, and I'm curious, do you have any female role models yourself?
So when I was thinking about this topic and reading, and of course I did this exercise also for myself, because I think it's natural that when we grow, we steal or borrow some behaviors, some aspirations from the others. So I did this exercise for myself, and I was just, sitting and reflecting, who are those ladies? Unfortunately, all of them passed away. But again, as role models, they inspire indirectly. I mean, they don't have to give you specific instructions. Talking about female role models, again, when it comes to those that are still alive, of course, you can also ask for instructions as well. So when I was thinking about myself, I was always really appreciating all those people that are able to be very concise and precise in the communication. And when I was thinking about the female that is somehow, to whom I'm aspiring, or somehow was inspiration rather to me, I don't know if you know Wisława Szymborska. She is the poet. She used to be, I mean, she passed away, as I was mentioning. She won a Nobel Prize in poetry and literature. So she's Polish lady, but basically she was like a Mozart of poetry. So she was able to put in a very modest and a few words the whole world, very introvert, discreet and humble. And somehow her way of communicating was always kind of, although she was writing a poetry, for me it was somehow I was trying to give some hints and translate them into my reality, how I can be more impactful through the communication. So that was something that definitely I definitely promote. That again, you can have the best skills ever, you can be the greatest performer, but unless you are able to talk about it and communicate and share with the others, you are losing a lot. So that's why this communication part. Then I have Ruth Bader Ginsburg. I don't know, I have even her book. I don't know if you know the lady. So she is basically she was the second woman ever appointed in the US Supreme Court, and she was appointed when she was 60. So basically still it gives us a lot of also a good perspective that we have different pace for achieving different positions. And for me, she was extremely inspirational for the fact that she was stating also that she was, maybe this is important for those who don't know her, that although in the United States she's like really an icon, but she was basically fighting for social justice and fighting against discrimination. So basically she was extremely authentic, also sharply dressed. I loved her style as well. So somehow she was always conveying the message that you should fight for the things you care about, but do it in a way that other will follow you, not forcing, not being authoritarian or aggressive. Just do it in a way that other will follow you without imposing things. And the last person I was having in mind, it was my grandma. She was born in 1923, and she finished 4 classes of the primary school. So she was not, educated, profoundly, but she was really one of the wisest person I've ever met. Extremely, again, modest and decisive, but also very frank and direct. And she was also saying always, don't complain, cherish the moment that you have, cherish what you have, and do not worry ahead of time. So this is something that definitely I try to live. And in fact, very often somebody is asking me about your career, about your growth. And I was always saying that I never planned it. I mean, I was just always happy whatever was happening, and I was always open to the things that were proposed. So, again, there are some people that are really planning and, reaching the goal. I'm not this kind. And still, I somehow want to testify that it works different
Yeah.
way as well. So basically, if I could sum up, I would definitely encourage all those people that were joining us today to think about your role models. Take a piece of paper, take a pen, think about those, and just somehow mingle with what they were stating, how they were behaving, and pick yourself upon this as well.
Yes, I do. That's an amazing way of, I believe, of ending this podcast. Think about what your role models are, and maybe hearing from this initiative that is part of UniCredit. Maybe also try to find a role model in your company, in your job, and speak about what you think you're capable of, and maybe see if you can do more than you think you can. So even if this initiative is obviously not everywhere, maybe if you've listened to this podcast, you can go and apply it yourself and just search for a mentor within your environment. Well, thank you very much, Magdalena, for accepting our invitation today. I really hope I will see you again in the next edition. And I would really like to hear more about how the program develops later on as well, and what are the next stages. So thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. I'm really glad I could share this. And again, as colleagues in a digital environment will definitely confirm that this initiative also was born and was developed in a very agile way. So, I started somewhere in the room writing a few words, and then it was, enrolled in Poland, now in Romania, maybe also in other countries that I will be working, because of course at the beginning I was doing all the communication, I was writing all the emails, presentations, etc. Right now I have colleagues who are supporting me on that. And it really started very small, and now I'm talking to you. It's a really great pleasure to just simply prove that once you believe in something, and although I was a little bit, anxious, but probably,
Yeah.
as somebody was singing in a song, if you are a little bit nervous, it's probably worth it, and
Yeah.
that's definitely true to me. This is how I was born. It's growing, it's developing, and I have a lot of really personal pleasure to share it, and hopefully maybe inspire also some other people and companies to do something similar.
Yeah, and thank you for coming and sharing it with us in the podcast. And I hope that many people will listen to it. And I hope we even inspired some companies to maybe create a similar type of program within their environment. So thank you for everyone who was today with us. And we're waiting for you in the next episode. Have a wonderful day.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.